I'd like to talk to you all today about ketogenics. So give me 5 minutes tops of your time and we will break down what is a keto diet, what's good about it, what's bad about it, might it be something that works for you. So I have had 3 people ask me in the last couple days only whether they should do a ketogenic diet. I also saw an advertisement from Slim Fast that they are now making a ketogenic packaged whatever that people get to eat. And I'm realizing that this fad has really taken off to a whole new level, and it's maybe gone a little bit too far. And people maybe don't even understand exactly what ketogenics is. And I say that because I received a message from a woman who told me that she was eating a keto-ish diet, her words, keto-ish, in that about 55% of her calories were coming from fat, leaving the remaining 45% to come from carbohydrates and from protein. So this woman labeled it keto-ish. And so when I saw the Slim Fast advertisement for keto, I had someone in my online coaching group ask if maybe they should just try keto for a little quick push. And then I had that woman tell me that she was eating keto-ish. Hi, Steph. We're going to talk about keto here. Ready for it? I just realized that keto is a ridiculous phenomenon out there. And for all of you that are looking for that next thing, we're just grasping at what is the thing that is actually going to work for us. It's very easy to be like, oh man, keto, right? I'm seeing it, I'm hearing about it. Let me do keto. So first off, let's talk about what keto is. Your body runs on glucose. We get glucose from carbohydrates. We get glucose actually also from protein. Little known fact right there. So we use glucose for fuel. The thought behind the keto diet is that when we are completely out of glucose, because we are not eating those foods any longer, our body converts into ketones for fuel. We convert fat into ketones and we use that for fuel. And so that sounds in theory like an okay process. And let's preface this by saying, I have seen keto work. I've seen it work really, really well. And I will say the largest limiting factor in keto working or not is how hard it is. Because here's the thing. In order to get your body into ketosis, in order to be completely out of glucose, so your body converts that fat into ketones, you have to eat significantly less carbohydrates and protein than you think you do. So this woman who came to me and said, I'm eating keto-ish, I'm eating 55% fat. I said, no, you're just eating high fat. So the standard ketogenic split is a 4-to-1 ratio between fat and protein and carbohydrates together. So a 4-to-1 ratio can also be said as 80% fat and 20%, that's 4-to-1, protein and carbohydrates. So for most people, that's 10% carbs and 10% protein. Now, some people will say that they are eating a ketogenic diet, but they're eating high protein still. And what people need to understand is that your body runs on glucose. And when we are not getting glucose from carbohydrates, our body then converts protein into glucose. It is looking for the easiest energy source possible, which comes from first carbohydrates. That's easy to convert into energy. Second, protein. Third, fat. So if you are going over your required macros in not just carbohydrates, but in protein, in healthy protein, then your body is not utilizing ketones for fuel. You are not getting into ketosis. You are just eating high fat. So that's really the number one thing that people are doing wrong when they are trying ketogenics, is that they are not fully trusting the process enough to eat high enough fat to actually make yourself get into ketosis. It can be pretty scary to look at what 80% fat of your calories actually is, right? To eat that much fat when we have been told for so long to not eat fat can be scary. And so I think some people think I'm going to do 55, 60, maybe 65% fat, and that'll be enough. That's just high fat. That's like worse for you than just some sensible macro splits. So that's number one of what we're doing wrong when we are attempting ketosis. Number two, I think of what I see people doing wrong with ketosis is that it's a constant process in your body to find those fat molecules, turn them into ketones, and burn those for fuel. Any deviation from the correct macro split will take your body out of ketosis. So there is zero room for error on the keto plan. None. If you go out and have some drinks with your girlfriends, if you have family dinner night and you have a piece of pizza, if you're running late and you don't plan efficiently and you grab something to eat at a drive-thru, you're out of ketosis. It's that quick to mess up the whole thing. And as soon as you're out of ketosis and your body has glucose to use for fuel instead, you're not using those fat cells for fuel. Now you've just otherwise eaten a high-fat diet. So there is zero room for error. And so while I will admittedly say that keto works, but it only works if you follow it to such a stringent T of a plan that it is all consuming. I've seen it work, but I have seen it have to be all consuming to make it work. I think, Steph, you have seen the little pin pricker. So you can prick your finger, you can put your blood onto a ketone meter, much like a diabetic measures their glucose, and it will tell you what percentage of ketones are in your body. And then you get to journal, okay, I had these foods and that made my ketone level like this. So maybe I need to try these foods and it's going to make it like this. And which things made me pop out of ketosis? These are not realistic strategies of how to get through your day for anyone who has a job and children and hobbies and other things they might want to take time to do. So while I acknowledge that keto sounds like a really great, we use fat for fuel. That's amazing. I have lots of fat. I'll have lots of fuel. It'll burn it off. Awesome. Great. Right. Great. While it sounds like that is a really amazing process, the effort to get there is sustainable for a small fraction of people. And along the way, what we've done is we have tried something, not been able to stick to it, and now we feel bad about ourselves because we didn't do it. Susie down the street was able to do it. It worked for her. It worked for that girl on Instagram. Slim Fast told me that it should work. Slim Fast has that keto packaging now, and everyone tells you it should work, and it didn't work for you because you didn't realize how freaking hard it was going to be. And so then we feel bad, right? And so next time we try something else, man, you're trying from a place all the way down here because you're already feeling bad about that process. So recommendation, can you do keto? Sure, absolutely. Here's a couple things to keep in mind. You need to be 100% ready for some serious restriction, some serious monitoring, and some serious effort. So that's step one. If you're going to try this silly keto fad, you got to be ready for what it's really going to be like. It is not just, I'm going to eat a bunch of fat and sweet, now I have lost weight. Okay? So if you're ready for it, step two of how to actually do keto successfully would be to have a plan for after you don't want to do it anymore. Okay? So unless you want to eat like that forever, then up front, before you even start, you need to have a plan of what is next. Because whatever you're doing that got you to this body that you are not incredibly stoked about, you can't go back to that. You can't put in all of the effort and the restriction on a ketogenic diet and then mess it all up afterwards, right? So you need to sit down and have a lifestyle type of plan for after you've lost the weight on ketogenics. Okay, that is the only way that it will be successful for you. You need to get your macros correct with ridiculously high level of fats, 10% carbs, 10% protein. And that's low. And this is not net carbs. Like some people say there's so much fiber in something that we don't count those carbs. This is all carbs. Typically, they need to be under 50 grams. Last note here. I just saw an article that said ketogenics is amazing because it fills you up so much that you don't even have to count calories. You're just gonna be full. Well, that's really silly because at the end of the day, weight loss happens from a deficit. Whatever it is that you are eating, whatever plan you are on, you have to eat less than your body is utilizing for energy, right? So you gotta burn more than what you're eating. And fat is super caloric, yes? Yes, we can agree to that. And so most average female bodies are burning somewhere between 1,300 and 2,000 calories a day between daily living, between the calories that you need to just stay alive, between workouts, all of those things. Somewhere between 1,300 and 2,000 calories a day we're burning, okay? It is tremendously easy to eat that many calories in fat. Think about peanut butter. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter has 190. Hold on, we're gonna look at the peanut butter jar for some, yeah, we got 2 tablespoons, 190 calories, 16 grams of fat in 2 tablespoons, right? So tell me that you don't need to count calories on keto when you're gonna eat 200 of them in 2 tablespoons. It is extraordinarily easy to go over your caloric needs on a ketogenic diet because fat is so dense. There's so many calories in such a small amount of food. So if you're going to try keto, you see any articles about you don't have to count your calories, you're just gonna be satiated. Yes, fat makes you feel a little bit more satiated, but I would not say that eating peanut butter makes me feel full. I could eat a whole jar of that and not feel full. Does that make sense? So you need to know your caloric limit if you're going to try keto, and you absolutely have to track all of your food. You have to track and measure in a way that you would not even come close to needing to do if you just chose a clean eating, high protein, moderate carbohydrate, moderate fat program, like a lifestyle program. Yeah, the programming, the nutrition programming that I give you all, that you know is what I believe in, okay? So if you're going to do keto, don't listen to all the noise. There's so much hype out there right now about ketogenics. Know what you're getting into if you want to try it so you can do it right. That being said, my professional opinion is that there are easier, more fun, more lasting ways to lose weight. I think that keto is a shiny object and a short-term solution that most people don't have the dedication and the drive to follow through with. And that's not a knock on most people. It's that we have lives, we have other things that we are handling in our life. And we don't have the time and attention that a successful ketogenic attempt takes. So, user beware. If you're gonna do it, know what you're getting into and do it right. If you have any questions about ketogenics, although it is absolutely not what I push out into the world, I will gladly answer those questions for you. Okay, hope you all have a good day.